Hi there, I've had a little bit of feedback since my last video on positive thinking, and it's certainly something that a lot of you are struggling with. And I've been asked maybe to give some examples because I think, yeah, positive thinking is something that we find really tricky, and without knowing when we're doing it, I think that's the first hurdle, which was the first thing that I'd asked you to do, was to write down every time you thought you were thinking negatively, or you could have thought in a more positive way about different situations. And that is the hardest one to crack, really, because we just do it and it is a habit. And with breaking habits, that's the first and the hardest part, is to realise when we're doing it. So I thought what I'd do is just do a quick exercise with you, and I'm sitting here looking out the window and it's pouring with rain, so prime example for us to look at. Time and time again over the last 3-4 weeks, I have heard people saying to me, "Oh, this weather is terrible. Oh, I can't believe the weather. Oh, we only had sunshine for a day. Oh, I can't believe it's raining again. Oh, that looks like it's our summer over already." And people do this because they feel really comfortable doing it. It feels almost good for them to do it, because then they can almost create a bit of a club for people who can complain about things and moan about things, and there's some sort of satisfaction that goes behind that. So the exercise that I want you to do is to try and think of some really good reasons, things that you can say in response to people complaining about the weather. And I'm just using that as a really easy example because I know over the course of the week you're likely to find lots and lots of people complaining to you about the weather. And if you can have a few things up your sleeve that you can think, hang on, you're complaining about the weather, yes, it's raining, but I'm going to say something really positive about the weather. Now, one, that is going to help you realise just a really straightforward example of when you can quite easily get into the same mindset as somebody else. And it's also going to show you how other people influence you, which was what I was talking about before, is even if you've built up this really positive attitude, if you're surrounded by people who are complaining and thinking negatively about the things around them, that's going to draw you back in, and the weather is something that will draw you back in very easily. Somebody says to you, "Oh, isn't it terrible?" What do you say? "Oh, I know, isn't it awful? I haven't been outside, I haven't been able to do this, I haven't been able to do that." So think of something else, think of something different. "Isn't the weather terrible?" Well, no, it's actually great, because I love putting on my welly boots and jumping about in the puddles. It's great fun. I love doing that with my children. Or, well, actually, it's not ideal for sunbathing, but it's fantastic for myself, who is growing peas on my windowsill, and it stops me having to go out and water them by hand. Little things like that. Keep a few things up your sleeve, and just note how differently it makes you feel by saying something positive in response. And I just want you to also note the response of the person who's just said what they have said, because they are going to want, whether they know it or not, they're going to want to draw you into that negative conversation. And by you not doing that, that's going to upset them a little bit. I don't mean in the sense that they're going to be upset and they're going to start crying, but they're possibly not going to know where to go with that. Alright, so just a little exercise for you. Hope you have fun with it.